So today's video is going to be about why you should meditate, the purpose behind meditation, what the goal of enlightenment, or what enlightenment actually means in a fairly objective and hopefully soon to be scientifically observable or provable sense. So I've just put out a book. I should probably mention that this video is sort of a shameless self-promotion of a book that I've just released. It's called Nothing Has to Be Done. It's available on Amazon in ebook or paperback format, and basically it's about the process of meditation, the neuroscience that is starting to emerge behind it, and the way that we can come to dissolve or end this sense of ego or the self, or dissolve our sense of separation with the world around us. Another word for that is, or another word for dissolving the ego is known as ego death. Another word for that is enlightenment, or God, or love. A lot of big, scary sounding words that really just mean the same thing. If we look around at the world around us today, we see the ego basically in all its glory, in a lot of ways. The response to the coronavirus, the global financial, economic collapse that has resulted, the rioting and protests as far as the George Floyd killing and Black Lives Matter, and these things are all basically tied to our sense of separation and fear, and a sense of self, a sense of me versus them, or us versus them, the people that think the way that we do, that agree with us, and those that don't. It's sort of creating this hyper-polarized situation where people are not really able to trust anybody. They don't really believe what's going on. It's very isolating and depressing for many, many people. Gotta try not to go off on tangents here and keep it focused. But yeah, at the underlying issue with all these things is basically that same barrier that we're working with in meditation, which is the sense of self, and with that comes fear and sort of a primal survival-based behavior. And I think it's time that we need to move past that. It's, I think, pretty clear from looking around that this is not working. And the point that I make in the book is that meditation is really the way of doing this. It is basically a paradigm shift or quantum leap between a ego-based, self-based culture and way of interacting with our world, and one that's based off of love and connection, interdependence with those around us, a sense of oneness, basically. And I think it's really the only way that we're going to move forward. It's possible that Elon will get his rockets sent to Mars, and we might be able to get off this planet in time before we self-destruct. But if we're not able to do that, then meditation is the alternative for basically realigning ourselves with the fundamental truth of our oneness and our inherent connection and love with the world around us. And so this happens the process of meditation involves refusing to go along with the machine of our mind or ourself, our residual kind of set of conditioning, which is slightly unique to each of us, but it tends to go along the same lines of the same themes of fear and separation, or trying to avoid one thing or get another thing. And so that we're able to see this machine at work through the process of meditation, where basically you just sit still or sit quietly with your eyes closed in a comfortable position, and you just sort of shine a light onto this machine that's going on inside of us. And as opposed to or what we're generally accustomed to doing is jumping along with this machine down whatever kind of thought patterns or avenues we're accustomed to going. And instead we decide not to give this machine the fuel of our attention or the energy of our awareness. We just kind of sit there and let this thing tire itself out. And that is basically what the process of meditation is. It's sort of a starving of the ego, or a starving of the self, which is not unlike just a muscle that has been used so repetitively, and we just decide we're not going to use it anymore, and it goes away on its own, surprisingly enough. So yeah, that tends to take quite a while for people to get used to, that kind of a shift between what we're used to doing and what the process of meditation involves, as far as not engaging this machine. We just let a thought go by without doing anything. We let another thought go by. We don't do anything, and you just kind of continuously sit there without providing the energy for this machine, and we just allow it to drop away. We let this kind of fear and survival-based animal inside of us just kind of simply go away. And this is something that is increasingly able to be modeled and observed objectively from either fMRI or other imaging technology, is really kind of paving the way to bringing this whole process into the mainstream. And I think that's really the direction that we're headed in overall. I'm going to try and get into that a bit more in the next episode or next video that I do. So I think I'll leave it there for right now. If you have any questions about what I'm presenting here, I'd love to get your feedback, and I will post the link for my book below if you want to check that out. And I'll see you next time.